The Pete Maravich Assembly Center. Entering the heart of December, a critical non-conference matchup headed your way on this Wednesday night. LSU and Houston, two upstart programs trying to make their mark in this young season. With Brooke Weisberg, Roy Philpott, great to have you with us. For the Cougars out of the American Athletic Conference, they are led by Rob Gray, the leading returning scorer in that league. And Brooke, this guy can beat you in so many different ways.
That's college graduate Rob Gray to you. Got his degree yesterday in sociology. Once again, the top scorer in the American, is a dynamic player. And speaking of that, Tremont Waters, wow, just a freshman. And this guy is so dynamic with the ball. He makes plays that simply make your jaw drop.
Waters, member of the ESPN Top 100 a year ago. Leading scorer at over 18 points per game. Skylar Mays gives LSU some more firepower in its vaunted backcourt. And for the Cougars of Houston, Devin Davis anchors the post. There's Gray. Davis, the transfer from Indiana, over 7 boards per contest, 13 points per game, and poured in a career-high 28 in a win against Arkansas out of the SEC earlier this season. Opening tap control by the Bayou Bengals underway in Baton Rouge.
Expect a lot of pace in this game. Each team averaging in the 80s. LSU at 85 points a game, one of the best scoring teams in the country.
And Aaron Epps gets it started off with the deep triple.
Will Wade wants to get Epps involved. He said he needs somebody else to step out on that wing and hit some outside shots. Give his guards a little relief.
Early foul call against Davis, his first team foul against the Cougars. And for Will Wade, year number 1 after a successful stint at VCU. Graduated from Clemson in 2005. This guy has learned from some of the best in the business, including Oliver Purnell, Shaka Smart, and a bright up-and-coming star in this game. Off the glass, board control by Galen Robinson Jr. Here come the Cougs. Davis Jr. for 3, and the response. Now, Davis, a native of Louisiana, and he's got many of his family here to watch him this evening.
Yeah, he started the last 3 games, hit 11 threes in those 3 games, continuing the hot hand tonight. Good spot up in the corner, and good find by Houston.
Tied at 3, just underway. Epps now with 5. Cougars come in as one of the hottest teams in America. You probably haven't heard a lot about them, as in the paint, Gray will draw the contact. Houston's won its last 7 games, off to its best start in more than 10 seasons, which is hard to believe. Aaron Epps picks up his first personal. Kelvin Sampson, year number 4, has yet to reach the NCAA tournament. Back-to-back appearances in the NIT. A lot of people remember him from his successful stints Oklahoma and Indiana. First points tonight for Gray. And our first substitution as Brandon Rochelle checks in for the first time. Yeah, over 21 points per game. That's getting it done. I don't care what league you play in.
Yeah, no kidding. And 37, a career high on Drexel. You know, each year, Sampson has given him a role to play and somewhere to get better. And this year, he's become very much a vocal leader. Talks to the teammates, keeps everyone calm, especially when things are going wrong. You see him communicating on this possession right now.
Waters versus Gray, and Waters connects.
This is going to be a great matchup. And what you'll see from LSU was just that, a setup to get a one-on-one with Waters and Gray.
Quick trigger by Davis Jr. off the mark. Gray thought about it. Open look for Robinson Jr. back iron.
How about Waters? Specifically staying about 5 feet away from Robinson to dare him, and there's a dunk. How about this start from Aaron Epps?
7 points, 2 minutes in.
Well, Coach Wade got his wish. He pointed right at Aaron Epps this afternoon. He said, I need him to get involved.
Devin Davis comes up short from 17. And will head to the other end of the floor.
3-point shooting for LSU. Good setup from Waters, that low crossover, trying to shake Gray. Like that matchup. And running the floor, something else that they do very well. They have the pace, and they have the guys that can pass. Listen, you're playing with 2 point guards out there on the floor in Waters and Skylar Mays. You got a lot of options in how to create.
Yeah, kind of a trademark of a Will Wade coach team. He likes having 2 point guards out there that can beat opposing teams off the dribble. Waters attacking. Outside an open look for Sims. Too strong, and here comes Gray.
Thought Waters had a better angle with the stop pull-up jump shot there. Made a difficult pass to the corner.
Houston's been a beast on the boards this year. They haven't been out-rebounded in any of their 9 contests.
Yeah, Houston's big. They've out-rebounded their first 9 opponents. But they got to deal with the speed of the LSU Tigers.
Skylar Mays connects, 12-5 LSU. Third straight year these two teams have tangled. Gray nearly travel, now turns it over. And a fast start for LSU. LSU undefeated at home this year at 4-0, Brooke.
You think about the future of this player right here, Tremont Waters. Freshman's already scoring 18 points a game, and it's been dynamic in this game so far. Okay.
Epps attacking. He's got 9. And Calvin Sampson seen enough. (14-5) LSU off and running here inside the PMAC.
Well, first you got the drive from Waters again, breaking down the defense. And how about the over-the-shoulder pass? And straight down the lane, Aaron Epps putting an exclamation point on it. I thought he was going to rip the rim off. And that's a guy who runs every day. That's the energy of a man who has run the last, what, 1,100 days, he told us today? It's incredible.
Fast start for LSU, 75% from the field on 8 field goal attempts. And currently in the midst of a 9-0 run. After the Cougars tied it up at 5 apiece. Well, you may not realize this as well, but the Tigers, 3rd in the country in field goal percentage. You see some of the numbers, and particularly in the paint, they've been unstoppable at times on 2-point shots. One of the best in the nation. This is a team that wants to shoot the 3. And with Waters and Mays in the backcourt, doing that at a high level thus far as well.
They shoot the 3s, but once they get inside that arc, Roy, it's at the rim. I mean, you're talking layups and dunks aplenty.
Fabian White off the mark. And the battle for the loose ball. Free throw line extended, foul go against LSU. Rochelle picks up his first. Yeah, Will Wade told us today he has ran at least several miles every single day for the better part of more than 1,100 days in a row. So he's in shape. You got to do that to handle the stress of being a head coach in the SEC.
They had an extra practice this morning. He was not happy with what he's been seeing this week, so he had the guys come back in this morning. He said it cut into his running time today, and on game days, he goes 40 minutes for 40 minutes a game day.
Yeah, 2 practices on game days, not something you see a lot. But he wasn't happy with his team yesterday in their final scrimmage. He takes his starters, he puts them against the scout team. And scout team beat him twice. He said, no, thank you. We're going to come and practice first thing in the morning. Not to mention the shoot around about 4 hours before tip-off tonight. Here's Waters breaking him down. Off the glass. Spins it home.
The incredible ball control and playing with the defense there, just testing to see which way they're going to go, and he knew exactly how they were going to react. I mean, that was like up, down, left, right, A-B. Pretty sweet.
One of those buttons. Whatever the kids
it's been a while. Yeah, it's been a while since I've had one of those controllers, so I'll leave it at that.
LSU a blistering 7 of 9 from the field, and finally, Jalen Robinson Jr. just 1 for 5 from distance this year. Connects on his 2nd triple.
You've seen the way LSU has set up for him to guard, right? They're daring him to shoot that 3-point shot. He's going to have to knock some down to keep the defense honest.
Epps has had the hot hand, and that continues. He's got 12. 12 of LSU's 19 by number 21. And the response from the corner by Armani Brooks.
Exactly what we expected, a lot of offense. And this game is, in my opinion, going to come down to the rebounding battle. And Will Wade telling us he wants to keep it within 4. He also wants to keep the turnovers under 12, as we have a turnover here.
Waters turns it over. It'll be Houston basketball when we come back. And Aaron Epps, 12 points in the early going, a perfect 5 for 5 start from the field. up 14-38 here in our first half, remaining 19-11. LSU 8 for 10 from the floor. A scorching red-hot start for the Bayou Bengals. Brooke Weisbrod, Roy Philpott. Aaron Epps was the player Will Wade identified to us earlier today. He's got to do it tonight. He's perfect, and he scored 12 points already.
We're talking about being coachable. Aaron Epps, you do everything that's asked of you. And he's a guy that can not only drive the paint, finish at the rim, he's athletic, he's long, but he can also step out to hit the three. And tonight he's shown us all kinds of skills and working very well with Tremont Waters in moving without the ball. And when Waters drives, he's stepping into the right pockets, and Waters is feeding him right at the right spot to shoot it.
He's nearly doubled his season average up to this point. He's a senior from Ball, Louisiana, about 130 miles from here. Dewap Reith has checked in for the first time. Number 1 in white. Deep triple. Connects. Armani Brooks now 2 for 2 from behind the arc.
Houston shooting well from behind the arc. 4 of 7, 57%. You think that'd be pretty good, except LSU outmatching that 3 for 4 at 75.
Yeah, you made an interesting point earlier today. Coming off exams for both of these teams, a lot of times you come out a little rusty, somewhat disoriented. Not Aaron Epps, but an air ball there. And so a lot of times that leads to a sluggish start offensively, and not the case thus far despite that last shot.
Well, you can only imagine, and having been in that position, your routine changes because you're trying to fit finals into practice, into weights, into media, and all of a sudden you've got this last week and you're exhausted. You've been on the road, you started your season, so to try and get back up for a game, it asks a lot of your body and your mind. So the games that I've seen sometimes after those finals, turnovers, sloppy, just missed connections. But so far tonight, these two teams have come out sharp.
Robinson Jr. off the mark. Reed controls. Dewap Reith out of Australia. Scored in a career-high 30 his last time out. LSU's win against UNC Wilmington. Back iron for Terrell Edwards, who just checked in. Here come the Cougars. Van Beck, who also checked in for Houston with a rebound. Wide open look for Robinson Jr. Van Beck, the former walk-on. Cougars get another opportunity as Brooks controls.
Offensive rebounding, huge point of emphasis for Houston. They can restart their offense. They've got the length and the size. That's definitely something Will Wade was concerned about. And I don't know physically how we're going to be in the post. Got to keep that rebounding margin to within 4.
Fabian White Jr. outside to Brooks. 3 for 3 from distance, and he has 9.
Armani Brooks, the sophomore from Round Rock, Texas. Moved into the starting lineup in the game for Rob Gray. Of course, had to sit out his first game. And the NCAA violation. And he's come in tonight full of confidence.
That violation questionable at best. He was basically playing in a church league, and one of his buddies
come on, man,
put in the entry fee as Waters with another 3. The hot shooting for LSU continues. The lead is back to 5. But basically a $5 entry fee, and the NCAA said, no, you can't do that. You're going to have to sit out a game.
Which is just so silly. I mean, I get rules are rules, but come on.
Inside, finally corralled by the Tigers. And ripping it away is Rochelle. And the foul will go against the Cougars. Zana. Norizana picks up his first. Well, fast start for both of these teams. We thought it would be offensive and high scoring, and thus far it's delivered. Wade Sims back in, 44 in white for LSU. Very busy week in the SEC. Before you know it, conference play will be here. Under 12 to go in the first half. Waters breaks it down. Outside to Sims, and stolen by Van Beck. And Van Beck out of control off the glass, somehow got it to go.
Acrobatic finish for Van Beck, who was trying to draw contact when he picked up his dribble. The play before, Waters, he had a close range shot to the basket, and instead he's kicking it back out to be on the 3-point line. Just go ahead and try to finish that play.
Reed turns it over. Houston back in it, trailing by just 3. And Waters, the talented freshman, an early triple. LSU out in front. 22-19, LSU out in front of the Houston Cougars. This critical non-conference matchup. Head coach for the Bayou Bengals, Will Wade, year number 1. And Will was gracious enough to be wired for us this evening.
Good to see you. All right. Good to see you. Yeah, I'm mic'd up. I'll be nice. Jump it. Quick jump it. Let's win the tip. Hey, first punch. First punch right here. Here we go. Attack on 3. 1, 2, 3.
One of the youngest coaches in the country. And Will Wade showing some enthusiasm, high energy guy. He's done a great job.
35-year-old energy right there.
Yeah, really. It really is. We had a great time talking with him today for about half an hour almost, just courtside before LSU's second practice. I think he likes the hand that he's been dealt, the basketball tradition here in Baton Rouge. It's going to take some time for him to bring in his guys, but tell you what, Brooke, he's got a strong nucleus of offensive talent here. And this team picked last in the SEC preseason poll is going to be a thorn in the side of a lot of programs this year in this conference.
No question. And they're still without Brandon Sampson, their junior guard, who sprained his ankle in that first possession of the Notre Dame game. And the athleticism that he brings to the floor. And complement that with their other guards, Waters, Mays, and tonight what we're seeing out of Aaron Epps. Doesn't look like a last-place SEC team to me.
No, I don't think so. Foul went against Waters. That's his first. Freshman out of New Haven, Connecticut. Amazing story, really. Waters originally signed with Georgetown, then backed out of that. He wasn't allowed to go anywhere in the Big East. Came to LSU late in the recruiting process. Brooks has been red hot. Too strong this time. Tapped out to Mays, and here comes Skylar Mays with authority.
I love the confidence on the finish, getting trailed by 2 Houston players. Great elevation and concentration to finish that dunk.
Here's Davis off the screen, all net. Well, that's a silky smooth jumper from the 6'6", 225-pound senior.
A player who contributes everywhere. And they love his offensive rebounding. He's at the top of the AAC with 3 double-doubles so far this season.
Mays, a pump fake, straight away, too strong. And the foul go against LSU. Well, Saturday, 8:30 Eastern, we'll take you over to Columbia as Missouri squares off against North Florida. Conzo Martin and company off to a good start. It's right here on the SEC Network, streaming live on the ESPN app.
So there's some buzz going around Mizzou about Michael Porter Jr. possibly returning for this season, which would be incredible. He posted on Snapchat, Porter did, and said that he's recovering quickly and thinks that 3 to 4 month time frame. Said someone was crazy. They got me wrong. And I would just advise him, having 2 back surgeries myself, take your time.
Randy Onwitzer picked up his second personal as Gray was shoved out of bounds. The Southern Utah transfer will give way to Rochelle, who checks back in for the second time. Entertaining start for both of these teams, 2 offensive-minded clubs. Gray has yet to really get a good open look, Brooke.
Yeah, they've done a good job of containing his penetration with the basketball. They've had to settle for outside shots, but they are falling for Houston. They're a terrific 3-point shooting team, the best in the American at 41%.
Davis Jr. now with 6. Houston 6 of 12 from distance off the glass, and the answer. Tremont Waters can do it all.
He's got a great floater dribble about him. He makes you hesitate if he's going to cross over or just do a quick in and out. The way he moves his shoulders, that's how he's getting open. Great job with the ball.
Gray off the crossover. Davis Jr. from the corner.
Oh my goodness.
Houston back in front. These 2 teams lighting it up. Rare lengthy possession by either one of these teams. Inside to Reed. Dumps it off to Sims. Rolls it in. Well, that's one way to do it, a little high-low action. Wade Sims, his father Wayne played here. Into the great Dale Brown. Corner triple. Davis again. And he is feeling it. The Louisiana native is filling it up.
He knew he had to be hyped for this one, being so close to the university, knowing his family was going to be here. Put up some good numbers this season and had that game-winning putback in the win against Liberty. Just under a second left.
Reed can shoot it from distance. Instead, he'll dish it outside. Mays. Cougars control. That was Zana. Houston, hard to believe, picked 6 in the American Conference preseason poll. Teardrop by Rob Gray. Second basket of the night.
Just a simple screen and roll. The basket allowed Rob Gray to get into the lane.
Now Reed somehow is able to save the basketball. Sims too strong. LSU will reset. Reed, top of the key. Oh, net! First points of the night for Dewap Reed. Born in the Sudan. Moved to Australia at the age of 9 due to all the Civil War. Here's a turnover. Inside out in the basket. The first of the night for Brandon Rochelle.
And this could be a quick double-double for Tremont Waters, maybe even by halftime with points and assists. The way he set up his teammates tonight has been remarkable. Point passing, in between defenders, keeping his concentration in traffic as he drives through the lane.
And as a freshman, it can be feast or famine at times, but for the most part, he's been feasting this holiday season. Van Beck for 3. Well off the mark. Waters a rebound. Tigers lead it by a point. Inside to Reed. The turnaround. Off the glass. And he's got 5. 35-32. Devin Davis in the paint. And the whistle inside will go against the Cougs. Corey Davis Jr. with 12, and the Louisiana native 4 of 5 from behind the arc. Tigers by 3, under 6.5 to play, in a fast-moving first half with Brooke Weisbrod, Roy Philpott. Corey Davis Jr., one of the early stars. There's a look at his father and grandmother, who made the trip down from Lafayette. Check out. Great job that Corey has done thus far, Brooke.
I like his footwork. I mean, you see his hands and feet are ready for the quick release. Houston doing what they do from behind the three-point line. 41% coming into this game. And Corey Davis Jr., the last 3 games, he had hit 11 threes. So just adding on to that total, it always makes it worth the drive. When your son can show up and play the way he does, it makes it all that much more special.
Houston with an 8 for 15 start from behind the three-point arc. And one of the reasons the Cougars are hanging tough here on the road in the SEC. You see the numbers for LSU equally as impressive, if not more so. LSU defeated Houston last year here inside Maravich Center. Houston won at home 2 seasons ago, so these 2 teams somewhat familiar with each other, despite the fact there's a lot of new faces this go around.
It's a good matchup. You got 2 teams that are proficient on offense, still kind of finding their way defensively. Although Houston did a good job against St. Louis. They held them without a field goal for almost 12 minutes in that game.
Well, the other thing you think about this time of year is trying to build your postseason resume, non-conference play. Houston now drops back in a 1-3-1 zone. And both of these teams already with marquee victories this year. Davis Sky for the rebound, a late whistle. Rochelle's going to pick up his second. Let's see if they got Reed. Yeah, Dewap Reed actually picks up his first, but Houston pummeled Arkansas earlier this season, jumped out to an 11-0 lead, never looked back. LSU handled Michigan by 2, but you know, kind of a resume builder if you're looking at the postseason later on this year. Tonight, depending on what these 2 teams do, you know, obviously the rest of the way, it could be another resume building type of victory.
I'll tell you what, with their win over Texas today, LSU beating Michigan, Michigan beating Texas is a huge win. Now makes LSU's win look great. Not that it wasn't good before, but good game that was. Got a good one here tonight.
Yeah, this Houston team's won more than 20 games the last 2 years. Just missed the NCAA tournament. Gray, the jump stop, and nicely done. He's got 6. And I tell you, Gray doesn't force the issue. He's under control, even if he's not scoring early. He lets the game come to him, and here comes the steal.
Good read, too, by Gray with the dunk and the finish. And that will be a foul. Oh, my goodness, Jeremy Combs got a piece of Gray on his way up.
Cougars back in front. Gray with 8, a chance to make it 9 after this steal and finish.
Not sure I see where the contact is. Let's see if we catch it once again. Just some late contact there. I thought that might be just a basketball play.
And Combs picks up his first. I would tend to agree. LSU in the bonus. Gray with a chance for 3 the hard way. And can't connect. Breon Brady picks up his second, trying to get that rebound. Well, you saw the competitive nature of Rob Gray after finishing that dunk. Kelvin Sampson told us something interesting today, and we had to ask him about it a couple of times. But he compared his star guard, Rob Gray, to Baker Mayfield. I said, Coach, what do you mean? And he said, well, I'll tell you what I mean. He's got a fiery temperament. And when you watch us play, especially against teams like Arkansas, you'll notice just how fiery he can be. And he's not bashful. He'll yell it out. He'll get after you a little bit. Edwards for 3, in and out. Brady controls.
I don't know if he's quite as expressive as Baker Mayfield, and I think that might be a good thing for Houston.
Sure.
But certainly on the inside, that's the game that he has.
Brady, the jump hook well off the mark and controlled by Epps. Here's Waters attacking. Gray thought about it. Couple of pump fakes. Davis Jr. hot hand. And the foul inside against Houston. Well, next Wednesday, 7 o'clock Eastern, we'll take it down to Gainesville, Florida. 22nd ranked Gators squaring off against the Dukes of James Madison. Mike White and company ranked inside the top 25, trying to bounce back after a couple of setbacks. Right here on the SEC Network and streaming live on the ESPN app. Davian White Jr. picks up the personal. Look at the top 25 and the SEC teams inside it.
Yeah, A&M and Tennessee with some great starts. And boy, Mike White getting after his team, called him soft. That would push the button for me. Oh, I'll show you soft. You come back and you got to out-rebound and be physical, but that's what happened against Florida State. Got out-rebounded by 17 in that game.
Waters turns it over with 3 on the shot clock. Well, we had Florida in their season opening win against Gardner-Webb. Kulichov went off. The offense was on fire. And, you know, since that loss to Duke out of PK 80, Gators really haven't been the same. They blew a 12-point lead late. But there's too much firepower in Gainesville this year.
Come on.
No, I mean, there's too much to continue to struggle.
Oh, okay. I'm thinking you can't ever have enough shooters.
No. But Mike White's concern then, I think, has kind of come to fruition now. The defense is not going to be as good as it was last year. And the Gators march to the Elite Eight. Cougars lead at 36-35 under Ford Media timeout. A good one here in Baton Rouge.
Coming up at half, Peter Burns, Pat Bradley will show you how the Aggies had another W. Ole Miss gets back on track. Pat Bradley, though, tell the people a little nugget right now.
Okay, you're not going to beat a team if you let them shoot 50% from the three-point line. 8 of 16 right now. Come on, LSU, defend the three-point line.
Back down to the P-back.
Peter, thank you very much. 36-35 the score here in Baton Rouge under 4 to play in the first half. High-scoring contest. Will Wade is wired this evening.
We can't lose focus on our defensive rebounding. We have to block them out. We got to go grab the ball. We got to go grab the ball. Stops. Stops. When we get stops, we can run. We got to guard the three-point line. Stops! Come on!
That's what it's all about. You got to get stops.
That was right. You got to guard the three-point line. So LSU may want to extend their defense. Really pressure the ball handlers.
Waters off the high ball screen. Epps has been quiet after the 12 early points. 10 to shoot. Epps against Davis. That's a nice matchup. Here's Edwards. 3 on the shot clock. Darrell Edwards has to hurry. And controlled by the Cougars, Devin Davis. Outstanding defense by Houston.
Yeah, they did a much better job on the screen and roll to keep Waters wide. He wasn't able to turn the corner and get inside the paint, which is what he had been doing all first half.
Outside to Brooks. Great bump, no whistle. Fresh 30 seconds. Davis, he can shoot it. 38-35, Cougars by 3. Davis with 4.
A great setup by Davis to come behind Rob Gray. And that's what you want your players to do. Move without the basketball to an open spot.
Off the miss by Mays. Here come the Cougars, swatted away by Waters. He doesn't play like a freshman. And the stutter step results in the blocking foul against Gray. LSU in the bonus. Waters at the stripe. First foul against Gray. Native of North Carolina. Had a foot injury in college. Junior college, rather. One-time commitment at Tennessee. Waters 83% at the line this year. Very interesting final 2.5 minutes here in Baton Rouge. White back to the basket and travel. LSU hasn't scored a basket since the 6:44 mark. The Cougars tightening things up defensively. Under 2 to play. Outside here, Sims. Epps on the offensive glass. Lost control. Saved by Houston. That was Brooks down low. And now Gray in attack mode. White lost the handle and pops out to Mays. Mays out of control, too strong. And Epps will shoot 2. Well, Epps has been very active in these first 20 minutes. Well, Saturday at 8:30 Eastern, we'll take you out to Columbia, Missouri. The Tigers squaring off against North Florida. Right here on the SEC Network, streaming live on the ESPN app. First-year head coach Conzo Martin came to the SEC from the Pac-12 and looking to build his brand.
We've done a good job, too, without Michael Porter Jr. and, of course, Jonte Porter. A little bit of an everything kind of player. Shooting threes, rebounding, running, pass as well. So not all is lost for Mizzou. Good job to Coach Martin to keep the spirits up on his team.
Meanwhile, Aaron Epps, point away from tying his season high. 91 seconds remaining in the first half. Epps has 14. Rochelle back in. Sims checks out for the Tigers. Houston's won its last 7 games. LSU at 5-2. Cougars only about 270 miles away from the LSU campus. It's a nice budding rivalry. It's not one you're going to see every single year, but as we mentioned earlier, they've played the last 3 campaigns. Offensive foul against Devin Davis. That's his second.
That's his second personal foul. And the 9th
Let's see where Davis, well, those are always the most subjective ones, right? But it was good position. And then Davis lowered his shoulder just enough and just a bit. The contact was there. But a lot of times, Roy, on charges, you have to sell them. You got to make it look as though that was the hardest hit you've taken all season. You got to fall.
Rochelle came up short on the contested layup. Davis Jr. off to the races. And a pair of free throws coming up for number 5 in red. Tremont Waters picks up the personal. That'll be his second. Waters coming off his first career double-double is closing in perhaps on another one this evening.
You know what I like about him is that he's the type of player that will give you so much excitement, right? And the razzle-dazzle is there, but at the same time, he knows to step outside of himself. And if his shot isn't falling, he knows how to get other players involved. Done a good job. Dad's not all for the miss. It'd be a little stressful to watch your son out here playing.
I would be stressed out.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Especially on the road.
My dad would come to some of my games at Coastal Carolina. And one time in Hampton, I fouled out in the first half. I felt pretty bad. He came all that way to see me play about 10 minutes.
Davis missed both. 42 seconds remaining in the first half. Entertaining start in this one here on the SEC Network. Epps thought about it. Levin to shoot. Here comes Edwards against Gray. Back to Epps. Elbow jumper's no good. Chris Harris Jr. checking in. Has battled a foot injury early part of this season for Houston. Shot clock is off.
Houston going to go 1-4 low. Look for one of the bigs to come up high, set a screen, and let Rob Gray go to work.
And why not the leading scorer in the American Conference? And here he goes.
Or just go to work by himself.
Van Beck whips it out. Harris Jr. can't get the shot off. Halftime report coming up moments from now. The Houston Cougars 8 for 18 from distance. And in contention on the road in Baton Rouge. 38-37 our halftime score as we send you to the studio right now.
Indeed, welcome into the SEC Halftime Report. PB squared, Peter Burns, Pat Bradley, 38-37. LSU Tigers were off to a very quick start there in the PMAC bat. But they missed their last 9 shots, scoreless in the last 7 minutes. What happened?
Well, what Houston's doing is doing a good job of it, switching up some defenses. Yep. We saw them go man-to-man at the end of that first half. We saw them play some zone. Coach Wade knew that they were going to play some zone because LSU has been able to get really good looks this year. They're shooting a high percentage, as a matter of fact. Yep. I think we're at 56%, which leads the SEC. Yep. That means you're getting good shots. You're getting in the lane. So Houston wanted to try to close those gaps up and force LSU to take some threes, take some shots, just keep them on balance. So they've been doing a good job of that.
Nice to see Aaron Epps as well, too. Matt Moscona called him LeBron Epps early, 14 points. That's I believe, a season high for him and Tremont Waters right there. Been a 1-2 punch for the Tigers.
Well, this kid, Tremont Waters, makes the game easy for everybody. It's like working with a Peter Burns.
Come on now.
It's just easy. You know what I'm saying? You're getting me layup, you're getting me open threes, and that's what Tremont Waters does. He makes all these guys better, brings out the best in them, and he can play at any pace now. No. He can push it. You saw Coach Wade talk about, let's get stops, guys. Yeah. They can score in transition, half court, give it to Waters.
Cody Worsham had a great article about Tremont and his whole history. Check that out on Tiger Rag. All right. How about this one? Texas A&M taking on Savannah State University. And are you okay over there?
I was just going to say that's probably the hardest work Texas A&M had to do all night.
Tyler Davis gets it on the fast break. That's a high percentage shot. Take another look at it and.
How about that? Like straight out of NBA 2K, the way he hung on the rim there. Have you ever seen the top of the rim like that, Peter, by the way?
The kids like it. Me?
Have you ever seen that?
Maybe like Papa Shot back in the day. Fort Allen days. Still first half, second 2-point game. Admon Gilder with the steal. Takes it himself and getting it done. How about this? This is 2 weeks in a row, though. The Aggies have kind of played with their food early, Pat Bradley. Seriously.
Took them a little while to wear down Savannah State, no question.
Davis grabs a rebound, starts the fast break. Gilder and Tony Trocha Morellis with the little give and go. Aggies now up 19 at half. Finally, they're getting it.
They just got so many weapons. They're so comfortable playing with each other. The chemistry there offensively off the chart. 32 assists.
Yep.
32 assists for this team.
They are dominating up by 29, and Coach Morales there gets the tap back in. 10 points, 13 boards, 7 assists, 7 Aggies in double figures. 113-66. That is no playing with the food. All right, for Texas A&M. How good is this team? I mean, LSU fans are watching right now saying we want to get to a certain level. How good are the Aggies right now?
What I love about them, and there's a lot of things. I talked about the 32 assists. That means guys are wanting to get each other involved. When all 5 guys on the court are threats to score the ball, impossible to guard. Impossible to guard. Tonight, they had over 50 points in the paint. We know from going back last year how Tyler Davis was the guy. Get it to him. Everything runs through him. Now this year with Hogue and Gilder, everybody is pitching in. It starts with Tyler Davis still, even though you got did I mention the lottery pick in Robert Williams, who can defend the paint? In and out, too, and he didn't play the first couple of games. So, I mean, this is an Aggie team that we felt like it was kind of taking a couple of steps, but now could be one of those that we're looking at, maybe like a South Carolina run that we saw in the Final Four last year. Because they can and will defend the paint. It starts in that defense, and then that transition offense, guys get out in the lanes, and you saw what happens. Down to the PMAC, they need to defend the three-point line. That's the LSU Tigers, because you got Houston getting it out to Corey Davis. He's 4-6 from the field, and Cougs with a 1-point lead at half over the Tigers. Peter Burns, Pat Bradley with you at half. Ole Miss taking on Sam Houston State. That's a good-looking coat, Pat. I don't think you can pull that off from Coach Kennedy had. Sorry. No, I can never pull off what that guy wears. You can pull off these shots back in the day. You're the shooter. Markel Crawford, big night. The transfer from Memphis, correct? There's no question. What a pickup right there. You cannot have too much off. Everybody loves to shoot, and you can't have too many guys that can put it in the hole for you. Remember Steph Moody? Was a blast to watch for Ole Miss. Crawford has a little bit of shades of him. He can light it up. Second half, Crawford getting done. Not only can he hit the outside shot. Oh, bodied him. Poor Bearcat. That's when you know you're feeling it. Give it to me anywhere. Everybody, get out of my way. Devontae Shuler, how about this shot? Gets it to go. Ole Miss, no problem. 82-69 winners. All right, coming up tonight, Dari Noka will not be here. He is at Disney World, folks. I will be here. Damian Fishback's not here. Me and Pat Bradley. Best show ever in the history of modern television. SEC Now tonight, 11 p.m. We'll talk about all the games. I promise. I'm not underselling this. I'm not underselling how good Aaron Epps' first half was. 14 points for the Tigers, but they're down 1 to the Cougars at half. We got a lot of hoops coming up on this network. North Florida versus Conzo Martin's Missouri Tigers, 8:30 right here on the SEC ESPN network. Or if you're out running errands, you can catch it on the ESPN app. Peter Burns, Pat Bradley back with you for a halftime. All right, for those watching the game, Coach has been mic'd up. But now I'm going to ask Pat Bradley, if I was in that locker room right now, what's Will Wade saying to his Tigers down 1 at home? Give it to. Come on, let's go. Defend the 3. is that his Stop ball in transition. Rob Gray, how are we going to guard him? High ball screens. Get stops. Get out in transition. LSU can run. They can finish. Stops. Get in transition. It makes the game easy. All right, so this is listen. I hope Coach Wade, is upset with that. Houston's out-rebounded all 9 of their opponents right now. They've got LSU by 4. What's key? I mean, give me this one key. What's that stat line? Is it rebounding? I think it's going to come down to Rob Gray defending him, because when he gets in the lane on these ball screens, it creates issues for your whole defense. Okay. That's the key. Second half coming up after the break. There it is. Tremont Waters, 4-6 from the field. He's got 10 points. Tigers down 1 at the half. That was a good Will Wade. I'm lying. I hope Coach Wade thinks so.
Good game in Baton Rouge. Start of our second half. Houston leads LSU on the road by a single point. And great to have you with us tonight alongside of Brooke Weisbrod, Roy Philpott. Stars are shining brightly. Seen a lot of three-pointers made by both sides. We expect more fireworks in the final 20 minutes.
Well, we knew Gray and Waters were going to be the scorers and the setup guys, and they have delivered on both aspects of that tonight. For Houston, you got to guard the three-point line. Listen to Pat Bradley. Rob Gray, 8 points, 4 assists, doing his job. He was a little bit slow to start, but certainly got involved. And for LSU, Tremont Waters, 10 points, 6 assists. And a lot of those going to Aaron Epps, who finished the first half with 14 points. Just love the way he sliced and diced through the defense. He's a guy who can finish very well under pressure in traffic. The more pressure, the better for Tremont Waters.
Corey Davis Jr. adding those 12 points on 4 triples. Aaron Epps scored 12 of the first 19 for the Tigers to start this game. And Epps needs to play well in this second half for LSU to remain undefeated here at the Maravich Center. Well, kind of lost in the shuffle defensively. Houston locked down the Tigers in those final 7 minutes. You saw the number there. Final 6:44 without a basket. We will see if this offensive-minded team can get back on track to start our second half.
I think the biggest adjustment defensively Houston did against LSU's offense was taking Waters wide on that screen, having the bigs hedge really hard so that he couldn't turn the corner and blow up the defense as he had before. Houston did a good job on that adjustment.
Cougars have won their last 7. Here's Davis, and Devin Davis, lethal from that range. He's got 6. Cougars lead is 3.
Davis coming off a good game against St. Louis, 17 points, 7 of 8 from the floor. If they have efficient play like that, him and Rob Gray, and tonight what Corey Davis Jr. has gotten in Houston, it's no longer the Rob Gray has to run it all show. He's got some help. Nice
Mays, the pretty spin.
You know, that spin move also sealed off the defender and gave him the clear side of the right side of the basket.
Spin move in the paint, spun it off the glass nicely. Here's Gray off the screen, stop and pop. And the battle for the loose ball. Reith got tangled up and pick up the personal as second. A quiet start for Dewap Reith, 5 points, couple of boards in the first half, coming off the career high 30. A resounding win against UNC Wilmington back on Sunday night. Reith will actually pick up foul number 3 as he heads to the bench. Gray, contested triple, back iron. Epps the rebound. Waters near side, fires up the quick 3. And Epps with a fresh 30. Tremont Waters the fadeaway. And the quick trigger yields a couple of misses. Traveling violation against Davis.
And 2 quick shots for Waters there. Just didn't see the point in going after those so early, especially in the shot clock. What he did so well in the first half was use his skills off the bounce. And from that, he was able to drive and dish and find Epps, some of the guys in the corner for threes.
Skylar Mays in traffic, fade away and rejected at the last minute. The putback by Wade Sims is good. Sims with 4, Davis behind the arc. Devin Davis says his foot was on the line. It's a long 2. Mays makes that look easy. He's under control. The sophomore from right here in Baton Rouge.
Makes it look easy because he can stop and change directions on a dime. I mean, that was an incredibly quick play off the weave. And the Houston guards anticipated him to keep going along the 3-point line. He said, no, no, no. Change it up on you.
Right now in double figures with 10. Inside. Basket is good on Lasher. Exited this contest tonight with a couple of early fouls. Big basket there. Here's Davis. Rock solid from that distance. And that trend continues. He's got 10.
Why, if he's hit 2 jump shots, would you not step out the defense and pick him up? I mean, pick him up after half court. Davis is a player who can shoot the 3, and you give him that opportunity to catch in rhythm and shoot, he's going to light it up. That'll be a charge. An offensive foul, I should say, on Onwuser.
LSU turns it back over to the Cougars. We've had 3 ties tonight, 11 lead changes. Very competitive matchup between the American and the SEC. Onwuser heads back to the bench after picking up his third. Edwards back in for the Tigers. Gray, the crossover, contested, fadeaway jumper.
Good screen from Breon Brady. He read the play, knew where Gray was going, and set up just in time to give him that open jump shot.
Working against the zone. Mays the pump fake, attacking, and a late whistle. Foul against the Cougars. So Breon Brady picks up the foul. And for Brady, that's his third. 24 in red will check out. And Zana back in for Houston. LSU offensively has been on point tonight as advertised. One of the top shooting teams in the country. Mays. Blocked at the rim. Here comes Houston. Gray. Stop and pop. Late whistle and some contact inside as Zana hit the deck. This foul against LSU.
It looked like he and Aaron Epps got tangled up. He's watching Gray, the shooter, so let's take another look and see how they got tangled up. Looks like the officials will also take another look at it.
The foul will go against Wade Sims.
Oh, not on Epps.
And our veteran officiating crew will have another look.
It's going to be in the bottom left-hand side of your screen. And Sims, yeah, you can see just the contact with Zana.
Nothing intentional
No.
there. Pat Adams, our crew chief tonight. Doug Sermons and Michael Roberts. Just a common foul, no flagrant. That's the right call.
Yeah.
He kind of dusts the rust off the old look at the scorer's table. Why not have another look at it, especially if you can handle your business quickly.
Always
That's
good
the
to be
key.
sure.
You want to double check things, that's fine. Cougars with a 3-point lead.
So you approve of the efficiency, eh?
Well, if you're going to do it, let's do it with a purpose. Let's do it with a sense of urgency. For the most part, that's what we typically see. Gray off the inbounds. Trying to spot him on the back door cut. Edwards was all over it. Stay with Houston on the kickball.
Yeah, that was a good read. You could see Rob Gray, he was clapping his hands during that play, wanted to get it initiated. Trying to break through some of that pressure. LSU moving up the lanes, as you can see now, extending their defense.
Gray inside, late whistle. Rob Gray will shoot two. Epps picks up the personal. Will Wade didn't like that call whatsoever, but his Tigers in contention here at home. Three-point lead for Houston back in Baton Rouge with Brooke Weisbrod, Roy Philpott. You know, everybody needs a little pick-me-up, a little motivation before a big game like this, including the announcers and LSU strength coach Greg Golden assisted both Brooke and I in that capacity about an hour ago.
All right, what on earth do we got going on over here? We're not ready to call a game. Look, listen, I need you to raise your hand as high as it goes. Now raise it higher. See, now that's the difference between a good game and a great game. Can we get this going? Yeah. Let's get it going. Let's get it going. Absolutely. Boom. See you guys.
Well, empty
ready.
dose of motivation. Let's do this. Let's do this, Greg. Well done, man. He did that in one take, too, if memory serves.
Yeah,
me.
exactly. I mean, you talk about just being ready on the fly. He's just high energy like that all the time. Love the way he had the guys ready and shoot around. And, of course, he's followed Will Wade throughout his career. He's been with him, certainly at Wichita State. And the fact that you carry your strength coach with you says a lot. It means that he gets his guys ready to play. And they came out tonight ready.
Epps on the offensive glass. Hack from down low. Aaron Epps Free throws coming up as Davis picks up the personal. That's his third. Well, Aaron Epps scored 12 early points, just 2 since the first 6 minutes tonight. Already has tied his season high with 14. You got to think too, Brooke, as SEC play begins in less than a month, if LSU is going to make a run at the upper echelon of this conference, Epps is going to have to play a critical role. Will Wade told us that in so many words earlier this afternoon. But his size, his range, his experience, and he can score, he can shoot it.
And no team will survive in this league without balance. And right now you got a strong SEC conference. 6 teams with just 1 loss. Tennessee, they're not so much a surprise, but a pleasant start.
Oh, I think a big
Volunteers.
surprise, yeah.
I think anytime you have a team coached by Rick Barnes, you expect success. But man, what Tennessee's done this season, just tremendous. James Daniel III, the NCAA's leading active scorer, almost 2,000 points. Well done.
Falls, North Carolina coming up Sunday. Tennessee ranked inside the top 20. Now, Rick Barnes did such a good job at Clemson and at Texas. He just finds ways to get teams to win games. It may not be pretty all the time, but certainly the Vols doing some good things in Knoxville. 7 to shoot. Davis has the mid-range game. Back to the basket here, and now the spin. Mays controls for LSU. Tigers can tie it up with a 2, take the lead with a 3.
Good defensive possession for LSU. Waters, he came out to Galen Robinson, closed him out well. Robinson's not really going to pull the trigger from that 3 a whole lot, but it forced Houston to restart their offense, and eventually Davis into a tough shot.
Mays down low to Epps, double team. 5 on the shot clock. Mays inside, lays it in, and the finger roll.
You see what happens when you have an unselfish basketball team that will reverse the ball, look opposite side, totally opens up the defense, and the lane wide open for Sims.
Crowd back in it in Baton Rouge. Off the pick and pop, Davis, short. LSU can grab the lead. Inside, out of bounds. We'll stay with the Tigers.
And Waters and Epps, major eye contact on that fast break. Waters fed him a bit too early. You want to let Epps catch that close to the rim so he can just catch it on the fly, go in with a jump stop, or better yet, alley-oop.
Sims out, Rochelle back in for LSU. 6 minutes into the second half, a wildly entertaining matchup tonight. A shake and bake for Waters. Sends it inside, and Rochelle will shoot a pair. That's what Waters can do. 10.6 dimes tonight. Has turned it over twice, Brooke, in 25 minutes, but really ignites this Tigers offense.
I want to tell you what I really like and what has impressed me most about this young man is out after every play, good or bad, he's bringing the team together to huddle and to talk. And to have guys that actually communicate verbally on the court anymore is such a rare gem. In the age of technology, and I'm a victim of it as well, but you talk about texting versus talking, and coaches will do anything to get their guys on the floor to talk. So to have a freshman out there doing it right now, that's a huge get for Will Wade.
I'll just give him a cell phone and a Twitter account. They'll be good to go to talk to each other early in the game. It's amazing how that works. Crowd back in it again. LSU by 2. Inside and out of bounds.
How about the job of Darrell Edwards, on-ball defender, taking away Gray's options. And you can see Gray doing everything he can to change directions, change pace. And he's not fooling number 5 one bit.
Houston back in the zone. 15 to shoot. LSU in the midst of a 6-0 run. Epps can't connect, and free throws coming up. On LSU hanging tough on the offensive glass. That was one of Will Wade's hidden keys tonight as Brooks picks up his second.
Yeah, that is a big key. And Wade wanted to make sure his team was within 4 at the rebound margin and to keep the turnovers under 12. He likes what he sees because at halftime, guess what? The rebound margin was 4. They had 6 turnovers at the half and just 8 for the game.
Will Wade living and dying on every single bounce of the basketball. Tigers out rebounding Houston thus far by 2. So that's a developing story. Epps back at the line for one more. Aaron Epps, the senior from Ball, Louisiana, just 57% from the line this year. 6 for 6 tonight.
Certainly not anything wrong with his form. He's pretty good. He's been confident and smooth from the start.
18 and 10, another double-double, and now a new career high with 18 points. Back to the basket, Brady, well off the mark, and the whistle against Houston. Brady picks up the call.
And Epps was bodying up and decided to take his hands off, so he did get called for the foul. Good job. He got his hand on the ball at the last possible second just to cause some disruption.
4th foul against Brady. He'll quickly check out as Zana checks back in. Breon Brady started all but 1 game this year, an inside presence for these Cougars. Drop back in the zone again. LSU suddenly with momentum. Epps for 3. This crowd ready to erupt with that shot. Gray off the mark. Epps controls. Rebound number 12.
How about that? Epps the deep 3 and then sprints back to get the rebound.
8-0 run for the Tigers. Make it 10-0. And there's Mays again.
That was pretty. That was so pretty. That was like Wesley Snipes' "It's pretty, it's so pretty" kind of move. That was great.
Galvin Sampson has seen enough. Tigers with their largest lead at 6. Cougars basketball when we come back. Lead is 6 for LSU. Will Wade in his first season here in Baton Rouge is wired tonight.
Listen, our half, best half of the year right here. Best half of the year. Here we go. Attack on 3. 1, 2, 3.
Take a deep breath. Come on. Come on. We got to move the ball. We can't play against a set defense. We got to move. Hey, come on!
Living, breathing, dying with every single play here tonight inside the Maravich Center. Brooke Weisbrod, Roy Philpott. Tell you what, it's been an emotional second half, at least the start for LSU, outscoring Houston by 7.
Yeah, this has been a back and forth game, one that's been great for us and great for the fans at home. It seems every time that Houston has an answer, LSU coming back with the run. And what I really like about the way that Coach Wade has addressed his players, when it calls for high energy, that's what he gives to them. He gets them hyped, wipe a little sweat off. It's about time he starts blitzing as much effort as he's put in tonight. You can tell he's in shape. He's a runner. But also, when he gathered the guys and said, hey, let's just calm down. We got to make sure we pass, keep it moving against the zone. And that's, to me, the sign of a good coach and a player's kind of coach. You got to be able to communicate with your guys at the right time in the right tone.
You can see a little Shaka Smart in there when he's pumping the fist, a little Oliver Purnell, perhaps.
Until he's out here taking charges and doing the dives, you can't give him the Shaka title just yet. Gotta let him work up to that. But the energy's certainly there.
12-12 remaining. Davis Jr., a big-time triple. That'll end a 10-0 run for the Tigers. Back to a 1-possession game. Davis Jr. now with 15.
He's the key offensive player for the Cougars in the first half. 4-6 from 3, now 5 of 7.
You heard Will Wade during that last Wired segment. Got to be able to pass the basketball against this pressing zone defense by Houston. 6 on the shot clock. Edwards thought about it. Mays will pull the trigger. Can't get the bounce, out of bounds. Houston basketball. Will Wade loves it. His team leads by 3, 11:37 remaining here in Baton Rouge. LSU by 3 back inside the Pete Maravich Assembly Center. Brooke Weisbrod and Roy Philpott, the campus of Louisiana State University. Don't forget Saturday 8:30 Eastern, Missouri and North Florida. Gonzo Martin, year 1 in Columbia. Right here on the SEC Network, streaming live on the ESPN app. SEC an improved basketball conference this year. 4 teams inside the top 25. Missouri expected to contend despite the injury to Michael Porter. And here in Baton Rouge, this has been an entertaining start between 2 teams that are maybe trying to prove some people wrong this season. LSU was picked dead last in the preseason SEC media poll. Houston, Brooke, was picked 6th, rough and rugged American Conference, after finishing in 3rd place each of the last 2 years. And I don't know if that really adds up. Wichita State obviously changes the complexion of the AAC, but I think clearly both of these programs are going to have some upward mobility this season. And
the AAC is a very strong conference. Not only do you have Wichita State, you got Cincinnati, and what they have brought to the table this year, they're a problem. And certainly Temple, a much improved veteran team. So Houston's got some competition on their hands in the American.
Trapping 1-3-1 pressure pays dividends for LSU. Saw the numbers moments ago. LSU dominating in points of the paint. Waters high off the glass, comes up short, and bodies collide down low. Foul go against Houston. As Norizana picks up the personal, that'll be his 4th.
Norizana had one for the help side, and then trying to find a body to box out, and really had no way to see Rochelle coming up behind him. A phantom box out that turned out into a foul.
The fouls mounting up against the Cougars. Brady with 4, Zana with 4. Still 11 minutes left. Reed lost control. And a tie-up. It'll stay with LSU.
Yeah, Reed putting the ball on the floor. That's easy pickings for Armani Brooks.
Well, as good as LSU has been on the glass tonight, out rebounding the Cougars by 4. The points in the paint advantage as well. Dwop Reed scored 30 his last time out. Really has not been a huge factor, Brooke.
Which makes it all the more special that Epps has stepped up and done what he's done tonight. And you think about the options now scoring-wise for LSU. As Waters, nice underhand finger roll.
12 and 6 now for Tremont Waters, the freshman. Lead is 5 for the Tigers. Here's Rob Gray, leading scorer in the American, in the paint. And he'll shoot a pair. He's got the kind of game that's going to, I think, bode very well at the next level. I don't know if that's overseas in the NBA. It's not the biggest guard in the history of the AAC, but you like the fiery temperament. You like how he's improved each and every year. And he's added, I think, more vision to his game this season if you talk to Kelvin Sampson. So he's done a nice job. And he's going to have a shot.
I would agree. Offensively, he's got the skill set to play at the next level. I don't know if defensively he's as sharp as he needs to be. Because at the next level, if you want to make a lot of money, you're going to have to play defense. If you go to Europe, you can probably score a ton of points, make a ton of money, and you don't have to play defense.
Not a bad gig.
No, not at all. And certainly, we'd be remiss if we didn't mention the man bun that Rob Gray is sporting, thanks to his girlfriend. His girlfriend did a little research on some of the man buns that were out there and said, you got to make yours different. This is the first time I've seen the man bun with the undercut. Rob Gray trying to make a style statement.
I have no idea what that means. It sounds very fancy.
He shaved his head. How about that?
All right. We'll go with that. Mays for 3. Harris Jr. fresh off the bench and a foot injury. Controls. Van Beck just checked back in. 12 in red. And now here's Waters with another steal. 1-on-4, and he wisely pulls it out for a moment. Halfway through the second half.
Yeah, Corey Davis Jr. knows the game by now, and it's the quick spin moves to try to get to the basket. And block. Not going to count the basket. No good. Off the goaltend. It's LSU trying to rally for that call. Let's take another look. Pull-up shot, Mays. Looked to me just the very possible top before the ball started coming down. Didn't hit the glass. I think that's a good no call by the officials.
I would agree. First foul on Van Beck. LSU shooting 2 as Mays continues his good work tonight. Already with 13. Go along with 7 boards. Mays just a sophomore from right here in Baton Rouge. 2 for 2 at the stripe. Lead is back to 5. Gray against Edwards. Davis the pump fake. Wide open. Rob Gray, you can't give him that kind of real estate. But he missed the triple and a foul inside. Brandon Rochelle's going to pick up the foul. It's his 3rd.
Like the execution, though, offensively. Good job by Davis. And then when the defense collapses, kicks out to Gray. And you're right, he's usually money from that spot.
Both teams will be in the bonus the rest of the way. Epps back in, Rochelle out. Cougars back to work on offense. Davis, mid-range game is beautiful. Another long 2. Devin Davis, the Indiana transfer, with 12.
He's burned the defense many times tonight with that 15-foot jump shot.
Back to a 1-possession game. This crowd has been great tonight. Loud and into it when LSU playing defense, quiet. The Tigers have the ball trying to score. Edwards came up short on that circumstance. And Van Beck nearly lost it. Fouled by Waters. His 3rd.
He's got to be careful because you want Waters in the game. This one's going to be close to the finish. I mean, you really feel like no team is going to go on a 10-0 or a 12-0 run. It's not happening tonight.
Van Beck with 2. Now with 3, he'll get the bonus free throw. He's averaging over 11 points per game coming in. A former walk-on has really found a nice niche in the Cougars program. Sims and Epps out for LSU.
Van Beck trying to come off a better performance. He was 0 for 5, just 3 points against St. Louis. 4 turnovers in that game as well. But an incredible 3-point shooter, would have been first in the American last year if he had played enough minutes. 48% of his threes he knocked down last season.
Houston back in a man-to-man defense. Inside to Reed, the pump fake. After the quick double team, 8 to shoot. And rejected inside by Harris Jr. Well, Sims had no room to maneuver. Van Beck. Mays the rebound. 1-point game, LSU with the lead. And out of control, Mays bailed out. So Van Beck picks up his 2nd. And don't forget, next Wednesday, 7 o'clock Eastern, Gainesville, Florida, our destination. Mike White, number 22 Florida Gators, squaring off against James Madison. Right here on the SEC Network, streaming live on the ESPN app. Florida needs to find its defense after a fast start. Kulichoff's been a welcome addition to that program. Kayvon Allen doing a nice job, but since that loss to Duke, PK 80, it's been a little bit of a different feel. Skylar Mays, 16 points to go along with a career high 8 boards. And approaching 8 to play.
And LSU extending the defense, trying to trap. I think that's a good move, except he could be the breaker right here. Rob Gray. Still think that's a good shot. It was quick, but it was good.
Tigers trying to seize control. Mays out of control. And sent out of bounds back to the Cougars. Will Wade can't believe it. One possession game here at the Maravich Center. Now pick your poison tonight for the SEC Tigers here in Baton Rouge. Aaron Epps got things going early. He's got 18 points, a new career high. Then it was Skylar Mays, followed by Trey Waters, and that trio have been the difference tonight for LSU. And you see DeWap Reed averaging nearly 15 per contest, just 5 tonight, but career high 18 from Epps, not to mention the 8 boards by Mays. That's been more than enough to establish this 3-point advantage.
Yeah, you've got a lot of balance in this club. And again, Brandon Sampson out with that sprained ankle.
Yeah.
Adds some more firepower to this offense. Scoring has not been the issue for LSU. You know, at 5-2, they're off to a great start, 4-0 at home. It's the second half defense that has been killing the Tigers. They gave up 58 points to Stanford in the second half.
There's Brandon Sampson. They're hoping he's going to be back in time for the start of conference play. 10 points per contest. Sprained his ankle against Notre Dame about a month ago. They're eyeing their contest December 28th, right before SEC play begins. And, you know, Brooke, there's a manageable schedule between tonight and the start of conference play. If you can find a way to sneak past Houston, you're going to enter league play in all likelihood with some momentum. You got Stephen F. Austin at home, Sam Houston State here at the PMAC. So we'll see how it shakes out, but a very important game tonight against a team that has won 7 in a row coming in.
And LSU fans will be happy to know Sampson was on the floor this morning for shoot-around.
Nice move by Rob Gray. See if he tries to take this one over. He's got 17. A quiet 17. He's been to the charity stripe a couple of times in the second half. 6 made field goals this evening. Mays. Reed couldn't corral it. Gray can. Rob Gray spent some time with Chris Paul at a summertime camp. Worked on his vision, trying to improve his defense. Leading scorer in the American Athletic Conference. Baseline jumper. Cougars back in front. And Davis with 14.
Once again, Davis kind of lulls you to sleep. He's not an explosive shooter. He's not quick, yet LSU continuing to give him that open look. And this is what I'm talking about, the second half, where you got to tighten up the defense, knowing he's burned you 3 or 4 times from the mid-range. You got to be body to body against Davis.
Shake and bake Waters. Contested triple is good. He's got 15.
Laser focus. Doesn't get rattled, doesn't get too high or low. Just a quiet confidence on the court.
Tigers back in front. Gray, short. Waters rebound. His 4th. Edwards an open look, top of the key. And it's all net and silky smooth. Junior college transfer from Fresno, California. Scored in 22 in his last 2 ball games. First points of the night with that 3-pointer from straight away.
And here's the shake and bake you're talking about. Corey Davis Jr. left in the cold. And Waters nails the 3. And he got lucky that Wade Sims stole the ball from him and got it back out to hit that 3-point shot, because Waters was about out of control with it. And good job by Sims, the sophomore, to pick him up and steal the ball from him.
LSU getting the job done in the paint, on the glass. Houston is a team that has not been out-rebounded all year long, and right now the Tigers with a 4-board advantage. Aaron Epps will check back in already with a career-high 18. He's been nasty here at home. Game has featured 4 ties, Brooke, and 14 lead changes.
And right now, the trainer for Houston, John Houston, it's a weird coincidence, isn't it? Over attending to Devin Davis, who appears to have some blood on his right arm. Good quick work by the training staff there to get Davis back on the floor.
Yeah, recruited to Indiana by Kelvin Sampson, maintained good relationship with the Davis family. Was able to get him to transfer down here to Houston after he decided to leave Bloomington and That move has paid significant dividends in H-Town. Fifth-year senior. Mentioned the 28 he scored in the win against Arkansas last month. And he's going to have to be critical down the stretch as they try to clean a little blood off the court. Tigers in the midst of a 6-0 run in the last 35 seconds. Davis Jr. Open look for three. 18 points, his 6th three-pointer of the night.
What a night. With Dad in attendance, he goes off from long distance.
And Grandma. Mays probing. Epps inside. He's got 20. Corey Davis Jr. now with a career-high 18 in front of the family. Gray inside. Harris Jr. A chance for three the hard way and a big basket.
Rob Gray off the bounce, you see just that quick hesitation, and that's the vision and the decision-making. He wasn't good at it before, but while you come out of a Chris Paul camp and it's a lot sharper, so it's moments like that that can make the difference between a bad shot or a three-point opportunity.
Harris can make it a one-point game. He's battled that foot injury all of this young season. Missed a couple of contests. Banks in the free throw.
It counts.
Should it?
It's not the prettiest, but it still goes in. It's all that matters.
LSU back with its motion offense. 5 minutes remaining in a good basketball game in Baton Rouge. Trey Waters connects.
He and Rob Gray so quick with the change of direction. And Waters keeps the defense guessing, but left his man hanging right there. Can't do that. Cannot leave the ball.
71-70. Harris Jr. with 5.
Love this matchup between Corey Davis and Tremont Waters. This has been exciting basketball to watch tonight. Two premier guards in the country going at it.
Mays in traffic. Have a couple of free throws. This game, you know, it's hard to predict what's going to happen with both of these teams the rest of the year, but it's had a postseason feel to it, especially on the offensive end at times. Mays to the stripe after the foul against Harris Jr. his first.
Roy, I mean, you and I both saw these teams coming into this game and prepared and saw that Houston was a team that is really well recognized in the country, not just because you've got some premier scorers in Rob Gray, but you've got depth, balance, size, and some good wins this season over Arkansas, Wake Forest. So quality wins for a club that was fighting to get into the NCAA tournament last year, and those early wins, even though Wake Forest, not a strong team, still a brand, still an ACC school, got to get those wins.
Yeah, it matters, and the goal is the big dance this year for Kelvin Sampson's team. 8 on the shot clock. Davis inside, power move, can't connect. And tap back to Davis Jr. A fresh 30 seconds, under 4 to play. Davis, air ball, and the foul against Houston. LSU shooting free throws when we come back, and the Tigers lead it by 3 at home.
One more round! One more round! Let's go! One more round! Let's go! Let's go!
Now building his brand here in Baton Rouge. Will Wade, year number 1. He's off to a 5-2 start. And tell you what, Brooke, he knows how much a win tonight would mean for his program. He's got some games coming up. Feels like he can navigate this young squad through. He's got some players that are offensive-minded. Epps, a career-high 20. Mays, you see his numbers as well. It's a fun team to watch, and they're going to do some damage in the SEC this year. It's only a matter of time.
Anytime you have a team that plays as hard as this LSU team plays, they can get their defense stronger. They're going to be in serious contention, not only to get out of this last place preseason ranking, but this is a team that can get into the NCAA tournament. They play like this and their defense gets better. Oh, this is a long shot for me? I don't think so. This team is good. The SEC is good, so there's some serious competition. But LSU, if they continue to play this way for each other, add another score when Sampson gets back in the lineup, yeah, they've got the weapons.
And I think Sampson's return is critical. Epps continues a career night. And he's got to get healthy. He's going to have to factor in double-digit average points per game before he went out with that injury. In and out for Epps. Davis Jr. has had the hot hand, looking for a whistle, does not get the call. Epps corrals it. So Epps a career high 21 tonight, and also a career high 14 rebounds for the X factor for Will Wade. Nine to shoot. Here's the freshman Waters. Double team, attacking, up and under, inside, no foul. Epps puts it back in. 6-point game.
The way this team has been able to read Waters off the dribble, that's an art in itself. You see Will Wade get this crowd hyped.
After the timeout called by Kelvin Sampson, LSU offense back to work, and Waters just makes this engine go.
You see how low he gets on the dribble, and he's got that beautiful hesitation with his eyes, with his shoulders. But what Houston has to stop doing, just love the enthusiasm from Wade. What Houston has to stop doing is assume when he jumps that he's going to shoot the ball. I feel like 8 out of 10 times he's looking to pass when he takes off. And he's been lucky that he hasn't turned the ball over more, because most coaches will say, don't jump and then pass. Bad idea.
Well, he's only 5'11", 167 pounds, so he's going to get bigger. He may not get much taller, but he's doing everything he can to use his quickness to his advantage. 17 points tonight, Brooke, 6 dimes, only 2 turnovers. And I think if you would have told Will Wade before tip-off tonight that would be the stat line at this juncture, I think he would be very happy.
You know who he reminds me of a little bit, especially when he pumps his head back like that? Shabazz Napier.
Yeah.
Little UConn in him.
Sure. Still early, obviously. We don't get ahead of ourselves.
Plays like, you know, body language and tendencies.
Right. Well, you got LSU in the NCAA tournament. You got Napier playing in the backcourt. I got to bring you back down to earth.
Sorry, I get excited.
Gray against Edwards. Edwards hanging top. 9 on the shot clock. LSU picking up the defensive tenacity.
What a save.
2 to shoot for Davis. Pump fake. Wild sequence. And the foul against the Tigers. Epps, the guilty party.
And Will Wade reminding his bench to keep it cool. And telling everybody to sit down and just relax. So let's watch this play again. It looked to me like both guys were going after the rebound at the same time.
Tough call. Davis Jr. at the line. He's 75% from there this season. Epps now with 3. Already a career high 18 tonight. Make it 19 and a big free throw.
Dad no longer sitting next to Grandma. I wonder if it got a little too stressful. Perhaps he needed to change seats.
Mr. Davis, we don't blame you one bit.
Nope. Listen, sometimes you got to change it up. You know, they're down 5, so like baseball, time to put on the rally cap. If you're a Houston Cougar fan.
Under 2.5 to play. The lead is 4 for LSU. Tigers perfect at home this year, 4-0. Open look for Edwards. Rainbow triple is short. And Rochelle battling for the rebound. Gains control and was hacked in the process by Davis.
LSU still out rebounding Houston now by 5.
That is not something we saw coming tonight. Will Wade, one of the first things he said to us, the physicality of this Cougars team. Something we got to find a way to match or just contend with.
Well, I'd say 11 offensive rebounds. That's how you compete, and that's how you match the energy. You know, numbers don't lie. So when he told us that rebounding was going to be a big key to this game, he said we've got to be within 4 of the rebounding margin. Right now they're at a +5. And turnovers-wise, they're at 10. He wanted to keep it 12 or under for the game, so right on target for LSU.
1 of 2 at the line. The lead is back to 5. And here comes the crowd. And Gray turns it over. Outstanding interior defense. The help came from Edwards, and Gray had nowhere to run.
The lateral quickness of Darrell Edwards has been what has kept Rob Gray from going off tonight. He's cut him off with angles, and on that play, played brilliant defense. No hands. Rob Gray still trying to get a call there, but that was a good call by the officials. It's a travel on Gray. Good defense from Edwards.
11 turnovers now for the Cougars. Program that's won its last 7 ball games. Crossover by Waters. Nowhere to get to the rim.
Waters comes up holding his right shoulder.
Galen Robinson Jr. connects on the other end. 1 possession game. Waters appears to be okay, but shaken up momentarily.
Still shaking his right arm. I wonder if it happened on contact or when he came down off that play.
8 to shoot. Mays inside. Wild shot. And saved by the Cougars. Epps gets it back. And the foul. Well, the right place at the right time for Aaron Epps, and it's been that kind of night for 21 in white.
Yeah, difficult because you're trying to save the ball into your own basket here for LSU. Boy, no better place for Epps. And Harris just mishandled the basketball. Wade loves it.
25 points, 16 rebounds for the senior Aaron Epps. What a big sequence that was. Lead is 6. Cougs need to hurry. Gray, an open look. Straightaway triple. And the big shot for the senior from Forest City, North Carolina. 80 to 77.
Man, that's next level. The senior hits the big 3 after a call he felt like he didn't get. The screen. Oof, got lucky he didn't drag his left foot there. Almost got called for a walk again. Little Wade wishing he had better defense on that play.
He knew it. Now, Rob Gray shoots nearly 50% from three-point range, more than 51% from the field this year. So you give him an inch, he can make you pay. 1 possession game as we take a look at tonight's Good Hands play, brought to you by All States. Little dump off to number 21. That's one way to do it. The career high night. Waters getting the job done. And tell you what, it's a tough offensive club to deal with in LSU.
Yeah, no question about it. Waters with 6 assists tonight. A lot of those going into the hands of Epps.
If you're Houston, you got an 18-second differential between the game and shot clock. You trail by just 1 possession. What's the thought process here for Kelvin Sampson's team?
You know, I think just play within yourself and do everything you can to not beat yourself. When it comes down to close games, the last minute, the last 2 minutes, Roy, it's always the tiny things that will win or lose you the ball game. Box out, going after a rebound, not trying to do too much on the offensive end.
Do you try to foul here and extend this game, or do you have enough time maybe to simply play defense?
Plenty of time.
Okay.
Plenty of time.
All right, that's what I want to know.
Yeah, neither one of these 2 teams are looking to stop the clock with fouls. They're just saying, hey, give me the ball, let's roll it out and go.
LSU in the double bonus, Houston as well. Let's see how Sampson elects to play it. His team on the road, trailing by 3. Waters versus Davis Jr. Freshman versus junior. Dangerous pass, and it's picked off. Devin Davis came out of there with it, nearly gave it back. Shot clock is off. And here we go. Cougs need a three to tie it. Trey. Davis shooter rejected, and Waters came out of nowhere. 2 seconds left. Davis to tie it. LSU wins.
Tremont Waters, where did you come from? My goodness. Go Gadget Springs for that block. What a play. And what a recovery from a turnover that could have brought this game into overtime. I'm speechless. That was incredible.
If that block isn't SportsCenter top 10 worthy, I don't know what is. That's 5'11". Getting up on the senior Rob Gray. One more look at that last sequence.
Bottom of your screen left. Get up, Tremont Waters. I didn't know you had hops like that, young man. It's still the presence of mind to recover, to go back and find his man, number 5. Oh, yeah. I know you're listening, SportsCenter Top 10. You got to put this one on.
That was sensational. 80-77, the final score. That win by the Tigers will end Houston's 7-game winning streak as the Tigers improve to 6-2 in year number 1 under Will Wade. 80-77 the final. Cougars drop to 8-2. And a big win for LSU at home as we send you now back to the studio. More from Baton Rouge after this.
How about them Tigers? Peter Burns, Pat Bradley. What a win it was in Baton Rouge. Pat, when I was a kid, my dad used to take me to the PMAC. We'd see Dale Brown. We'd see Chris Jackson.